All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another rebound reaction. Hey, look, they close to hitting the mid. Well, it's gonna take some time, but I give it like maybe a month or two. They're gonna definitely be at 1 million subscribers. So, guys, if you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to Rebound. But welcome to another Rebound reaction. This video is titled "Stupidest Ejections in NBA History." I think for sure the one that I'm more familiar with is the Tim Duncan one. Tim Duncan literally got ejected from the game for, I think it was like what, clapping or laughing, or it was like coaching his teammates at the time when he was playing. But yeah, he got a technical foul, and then he was trying to figure out like what did he do, and then he started laughing and cracking jokes, and then he got another technical foul and got ejected from the game. So they're gonna probably mention that. I think that's without doubt the dumbest ejection in NBA history. But anyways, yeah, subscribe to Rebound. Go check out their other videos, and also subscribe to me because it is helpful. But anyways,
Now, obviously, when some players take a certain things too far, they deserve to get ejected. But when a player gets ejected for laughing on the bench, you know the refs are just being petty. That's not even the worst of it. Players around the league have come up with rituals, handshakes, and celebrations that have gone viral. But a gesture by Tristan Thompson apparently went too far. The age-old sporty butt slap is a move used by a lot of teams.
I
as
remember
generally a
this.
friendly gesture. So it would be hard to think of a scenario where an NBA player would be ejected for it. But that happened recently with Tristan
Yeah.
Thompson in a matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Memphis Grizzlies. Former teammates Jay Crowder and Tristan Thompson had both gotten technical fouls after a heated exchange between the two in the first quarter. Crowder knocked into Thompson, attempting to bait the charge. However, Thompson got up and it seemed like they talked a little bit back and forth, enough to where the officials felt it needed a tech for both of them. Thompson would say the first tech was just competitive jawing, nothing negative. Just got a tech for being former teammates. Guess you can't talk to your former teammates anymore. Thompson and Crowder had been teammates in the Cavs in the 2017-2018 season before Crowder was traded to the Utah Jazz, and then would eventually end up with the Grizzlies. Toward the end of the third quarter, Thompson was up for a free throw, and after switching the first, Crowder passed by Thompson to reposition. When he was walking past, Thompson tapped him on the butt. The official conducting the free throw actually let the gesture slip, but the infamous Kevin Maurer, hawkishly spectating from the sidelines, didn't see it this way. An attack was called on Thompson, and before he could even shoot his second free throw, he was ejected from the game. Kevin Maurer called the gesture.
You can see a security guard was like, "That's what I'm saying." Like, even the security guard don't agree.
Physical time. The slap of the backside of Jay Crowder. Crowder did not say one word during that incident, nor did he do anything unsportsmanlike that would have warranted his second technical foul. And when Thompson was asked to explain the incident, he said, "Former teammate of mine, so we got a history, and it was just a little competitive spirit. They might have taken it the wrong way, probably because they forgot that. I don't know. We were teammates for like half the year, so I felt like playing anyone else. Like, if I was playing Kyrie Irving or something like that, same thing. They teched us." I'm definitely calling the Players Association to appeal that one, 1000%. With Tim Duncan usually being on the quieter side, he let his emotions go one night when he got into an unusual argument with a ref, which led to him being ejected. The Spurs
But
are
that
facing
referee, like that, they're gonna be talking about. I heard some things about that guy. I don't know his name, but there were at times like when I had seen him in like other like NBA related videos. And yeah, that dude was like giving out like either just, you know, whatever form of a foul for like no reason. And it was like but more so a tech. But anyways.
the Dallas Mavericks in the 2006-2007 NBA season when Duncan was given his first tech of the game with 2:20 left in the third quarter by arguing with ref Joey Crawford about an offensive foul. While the tech was being argued by fellow Spurs players and staff, there's nothing out of the ordinary, even by today's standards. Now with Duncan now on the bench just a minute following the first tech, Duncan received another tech after allegedly bad-mouthing Crawford, which then prompted his ejection. However, it was soon found out after that it was Crawford that instigated the exchange from the bench when he asked Duncan if he wanted to fight. Duncan responded with a smile, which then led to a second tech and then ejection. Justice was served, however. Crawford was cited for improper conduct, and he was suspended indefinitely by the NBA Commissioner David Stern, who said, especially in light of the similar prior actions by this official, a significant suspension is warranted. Although Joey is consistently rated as one of our top referees, he must be held accountable for his actions on the floor, and we will have further discussions with him following the season to be sure that he understands his responsibilities. At the time, Crawford was on his 31st season with the NBA as an official, and he'd been a ref for over 2,000 regular season games. He'd responded to the actions taken against him by stating, "If my player doesn't think that was acceptable, I have a problem." This wasn't Crawford's first time in trouble with David Stern. In a 2003 Western Conference Finals game against none other than the Mavericks, Crawford called 4 technical fouls in the first 10 minutes. Except during this incident, he dished out ejections on coach Don Nielsen and assistant coach Del Harris. Stern warned Crawford after the incident, saying that if he repeated those actions, the consequences would be severe. And following that incident with Duncan, there was some poetic justice served as well. Crawford broke what would have been his 21st season in a row officiating a playoff series due to the suspension. And Duncan went on to win a ring.
So like when most referees, like, they'll just be like, "All right, tech," and then just be, you know, walk over and be like, "Yeah, it's this person, blah blah blah." he's mad aggressive about it. He's all like doing like that and stuff. Like he giving out that much energy for a technical foul. I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to relax a little bit. It is not that deep.
Same season. The suspension was eventually lifted from Crawford, who retired in 2015. And in a 2012 interview with Crawford, he referred to the incident as a life-changing situation, stating, "The Duncan thing probably changed my life. It was just, you come to the realization that maybe the way you've been doing things is not the proper way, and you have to regroup, not only on the court, but off the court." I'd seen a sports psychologist before that, but after, I saw him a lot more. It gave me a new perspective. Tracy McGrady being known for staying under the radar when it comes to controversy or any altercations, he let his feet do the talking one night and it got him thrown out of the game. In a 2003-2004 regular season game where the Denver Nuggets were playing against McGrady's Orlando Magic, we learned that McGrady could have also had a career in football when he punted the ball into the crowd, not once, but twice. Now you think McGrady should have been in a good mood, as earlier in the game at just 24 years old, he reached the 10,000 point milestone, making him the second NBA player to do so since his longtime friend of Kobe Bryant. With the game at 56-57 favoring the Nuggets, Tracy was able to start a fast break, following a steal from Carmelo Anthony as he rushed the ball up the court. But McGrady's layup was blocked by Denver's Chris Anderson, and McGrady argued to the refs that there should have been a goaltending call. And when he kept pushing, he was called for a technical foul. Now irritated with the call, McGrady walked from the ref and punted the ball into the Orlando crowd. As he continued to walk away from teammates trying to cool down, the same ball is thrown from the fans back into McGrady's view. This gave him the opportunity to break free from a fellow teammate and punt the ball one last time in front of a huddle of officials, who then proceeded to punt him out of the game. McGrady would later claim that his actions were to get his team riled up when he said, "I could care less about 10,000 points. I was frustrated. So I had to get us going some way. 10,000, that's a lot of money. I have to get myself another autograph sign."
It's like the audio just cut out.
I was frustrated. So I had to get us going some way. 10,000, that's a lot of money. I have to get myself another autograph sign.
Maybe it's the video.
Led the NBA in technical fouls 3 times throughout his career, his reputation looks as though it's come to haunt him. During the 2018-2019 regular season, DeMarcus Cousins managed to get himself ejected while on the bench. He had just been traded to Golden State from the Pelicans, but he'd been yet to play an official game with the team due to his Achilles injury. Ironically, the tech and ejection he received counted as DeMarcus' first stats with the Warriors. The 4-time All-Star was sitting out watching a game against the New York Knicks, where after speaking to fellow teammate Draymond Green, he was ejected. Apparently, a few hours prior to the game, DeMarcus was working out with Enes Kanter when an argument broke out. As some NBA officials had witnessed the beef and told refs when the game started to keep an eye out for DeMarcus and Kanter. Fast forward to the first quarter, an NBA referee Scott Fisher overheard DeMarcus talking to Draymond about Kanter. And when Scott told Draymond to drop it, DeMarcus argued with the veteran ref, which then prompted a tech, followed by an ejection. Draymond was interviewed following the game, but refused to comment regarding the ejection, stating, "It ain't really my business." Coach Kerr was also interviewed, and he said he kept going to Scott. "I guess I'll talk to him about it. I gotta hear from DeMarcus what happened, and we'll talk it out." Scott Fisher had been the subject of many controversial game ejections.
That's when you know the player ain't messed up, when he's just like, "Oh yeah, we'll talk about it." You know, there ain't gonna be nothing to talk. My thing is, it's like, with most of these, you know, with like ejections or, you know, technical fouls or anything that goes down in the middle of a game, the coach or whoever would be like, "Oh yeah, you know, he's working on that and he's trying to be a better person and there will be consequences and blah blah blah." But yeah, he was just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it." But most likely he was just like, "That's stupid." He was just like, to get you kicked out just for literally talking to your teammates and stuff and him overhearing you. It's like, my thing is like, yeah, whatever you doing over there, you continue doing that. I'm gonna do my thing over here, all right? So
multiple NBA players, and Paul Pierce had his own words about the ref when he said, "Every referee has their own personality. He's just not the one you mess with." It shouldn't be like that, because when you look at it, it's stars, Harden, DeRozan, Chris Paul, that he's getting into it with. You gotta be able to listen to players and have that relationship. I don't feel like Scott has that relationship amongst the superstars in the league. It's hard for me to say something to him because it's like, I know that Scott's gonna have a quick trigger with the technical. So if you're gonna say something, you gotta keep it short and keep it moving. Because if you sit there and elaborate on a call, you're gonna get a technical. They'll throw you out like we've seen. But the players know this. With Vince Carter going down in the history books as a legend, playing in 4 separate decades for many teams, he was bound to run into some controversy at some point. During a matchup between the Raptors and the Nets in the 2005-2006 season, Morris Peterson had picked up a technical foul in the first half for arguing a no call with the ref. More than a minute had passed by when Vince approached Peterson on a dead ball and slapped him across the face in a friendly way. The old friend of Vince would pay back the favor by lightly slapping Vince's bald head, but suddenly the ref called a second and final technical on Peterson, kicking him out of the game. The official had missed Vince slapping Peterson first, and as a result, the only one kicked off the court was was Peterson. Peterson stomped off the court in a rage as he ripped off his jersey and threw it into the crowd. Vince, on the other hand, just smiled nervously and continued the game. To Vince's credit, he did approach the official to explain that it was harmless and they were just good friends, but the call would not be overturned and Peterson was ejected. Peterson would explain that this was typical Vince, saying, during different times of the game, Vince might try to horseplay around. It's unfortunate what happened. It wasn't anything where we were fighting or anything out there on the court. Continuing the game, Vince went off against his former teammates, scoring 42 points and even drilling a game-winning three that brought the Nets to a 105-104 victory over the Raptors. After the game, Vince said, I don't know what to say about that. Mo Pete and I are always having a good time. Mr. JV, I guess he turned and saw it at the wrong time and felt like Peterson had punched me in the face or whatever. Then afterwards, JV said it wasn't as bad as he thought. With Rasheed Wallace being known for playing very...
That's crazy. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, bruh, it's things I've thought of, like, you know, when watching, like, these crazy, like, technical fouls and things. I'm like, yo, if I'm friends with one of these guys, like, and then, you know, we're just out here, like, because my thing, like, me, I'm that type of person. I like playing around. I like having fun besides, you know, like, of course, like, doing my job and things. But, yeah, if I'm friends with one of these guys, I'm just all, like, you know, just come up, pat them on the back or, you know, dab them up, give them a hug or something. And I just see a referee doing this in the corner of my eye talking about number 96, TMossBoss. He's getting kicked out the game. I just been like, for what? What did I do? Like, I probably have got fined. I hands down would have gotten fined because I'm like, no, I'm not leaving the court until I figure out what's going on here. Like, no, we going to solve this right now. There ain't going to be no thing solved afterwards. We solving this right now, all right? So... And if I can't, then once when the game's over, I'm coming right back out here and we're going to figure this out.
Physical basketball, it's only a matter of time before he got ejected for doing something over the top. Rasheed's 29 career ejections and 373 technical fouls are proof of how physical he played during his time in the NBA. And he holds the record with that stat. Rasheed often said that he played hard to put on a show for the fans. And he also said, it's not about money for me. It's about the Hall of Fame for me. It's about winning championships, going to the championship, and just being the best player I can be. I know the media didn't like me. I was always misconstrued. I'm a hothead. Yeah, I'm going to get some texts, but I ain't going to mess it up enough to the point where it's a big game and I'm going to get thrown out. He eventually ate those words because that's exactly what happened during the 2000 NBA playoffs when Rasheed's Portland Trailblazers were up against the Lakers in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Throughout the game, it seemed as though he had a personal vendetta against all the officials. Starting off, Rasheed had picked up his third foul of the game while contesting a layup after he hip-checked someone. Storming off the court to sit down, Rasheed mocked official Ron Garrison by reenacting the hip-check following by a hand swipe to Ron. Ignoring this, Ron allowed Rasheed to continue without a warning. By being given some mercy, you'd think Rasheed would have cleaned up his act, but literally right after that incident, Rasheed continued to yell from the bench. Ron Garrison, who at this point was fired up, dished out Rasheed's favorite stat and gave Rasheed his first tech of the game. Fast forward a bit, and Rasheed got a pass from the three-point line and dunked the ball after losing it and stealing it back. Following his hustle play, he stared down another official awkwardly. Rasheed, who in the moment couldn't seem to stop talking to the official, who again has given him mercy, calls it a lay of game instead of dropping the second tech on him. Not too long after, Rasheed's back at it again with the death stares. Only this time, he got his eyes fixed on Ron Garrison. It wasn't about to take any attitude, and he ejects him from the game.
Because they actually had like a microphone like thing on that. Yeah, I remember watching that video. So if you can most likely find it somewhere on YouTube, but they had like one of those like mic checks or whatever it was where you can like hear what they're saying and things, and the referee was just like, look, I told him don't look at me, stop staring at me, and he continued on staring at me, so he's getting a technical foul. I'm like, wow, bro, you are a scary individual. Like, you can't even take somebody looking. I don't know, me, if I was a ref, I'd just been like, just have my eyes like bucked at him or something, just been like, okay, like, what you staring at? Like, bro, like, you gonna like stare at me or play the game? I'm saying, like, but yeah, he said like, you know, he was like, he's just doing it for the fans' sake, like entertainment and stuff. So, because you know, like somebody's gonna take a picture of that, and it's gonna probably be on one of those like Getty Images websites or something. Players staring at referee or whatever. But anyway,
approached Ron saying he didn't say anything, but what has he done? Ron initially ignored him and finally provided a side, saying, I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try and intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone. With LeBron James being known as one of the best players in the league for over a decade, one of his most unreal stats.
I was just like, what? LeBron? I'm like, how?
How often he stayed out of trouble. And with that being said, it comes as a surprise to hear that LeBron got so heated that he was ejected. In 2017, when LeBron was on the Cavaliers playing against the Heat in Cleveland, the Cavs were up 93-70 when LeBron began arguing with the refs about a no call late in the third quarter. LeBron drove to the basket and felt like he was fouled, so he began arguing with ref Kane Fitzgerald, who handed James a technical foul immediately. LeBron wasn't taking no for an answer, and he kept John back at the ref until Fitzgerald threw him out, which got the Cleveland crowd fired up, considering this was LeBron's first and only ejection in his career. After the game, LeBron spoke about the ejection saying, "I got fouled and showed my frustration to the ref, and he sent me to the locker room. That particular play, I got fouled all the way up the court. That's what it was about. I said what I had to say and I moved on, but he decided I should get ejected. We got the win. That's what's most important." Kane Fitzgerald also spoke about the situation to reporters after the game, saying, "Immediately after the no call, he turned and threw an air punch directly at me. Then he aggressively charged at me and he used vulgarity in my ears a few times." Hey, yo, dog, have you ever had chapped lips? Huh? Your lips ever chapped? Well, if you don't click on this video right here, dog, your lips are going to be chapped forever. That's just how your life is going to be for the rest of time because you decided not to click on this video. Is that really how you want to live your life? With chapped lips forever? I don't think so, dude.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, some of these, you know, that LeBron James one, yeah, that is pretty crazy. I'm like, yeah, there's referees that's just, bruh. Like, just stop, bro. It's like, ain't nobody trying to do anything to you. You acting like that this man, like, he's all like, he threw an air punch. I mean, he used vulgarity. Like, bro, first off, nobody has even used the word vulgarity. Second, if somebody is throwing an air punch at you and things, like, why would they throw an air punch? I'm throwing a real punch if I'm trying to connect with you. There ain't no such thing as an air punch unless we playing around or joking or something, or we practicing for a boxing match. Yeah, that referee, I'm like, at times, you know, it makes you wonder, like, do these referees be doing this just so they can, like, win a bet or something? Like, they got, like, a bet with some other referees or with some other people, and they're like, oh, I bet Cleveland's going to lose, and I'm going to make sure they lose. I'm going to get LeBron James kicked out of the game and stuff. So, yeah, I think that they be probably doing that on the side, but you never know. Well, I try to do this video now, like YouTuber TMossBoss fined by the NBA for $10,000 for talking about the referees. If it happens, it happens. Oh, well. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Rebound for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.